not just listening to just an ordinary sports podcast.
We've raised the bar.
And that ball is gone.
You're listening to the maddest sports podcast in Nashville.
Yes, sir.
And now, coming to the mic is the maddest sports host in the 615, James C.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy James C. back with another episode of YMAS. That's You Mad About Sports podcast. Okay, today's topic, we're talking about the infamous, the NFL sack rule. And it's been plaguing the league for the last 3 weeks. So you know I had to talk about it because I talk about anything dealing with sports. And so let's get to it. So I got a question for the NFL. One question. Can you please just stop making these rules that make zero sense? I mean, seriously, you are the reason why people have stopped watching games on Sunday. You can blame it on the protests. You can blame it on all different types of political stuff. All you want. But the main reason people have stopped watching is because fans just don't know what football is anymore. The refs don't know. The players don't know. The NFL has a bunch of old guys up there who have never played football create the rules for sport. Now, I'm over-exaggerating, but that's what it seems like. You got a bunch of old guys just sitting up there. Let's make this rule, and we'll go with it, and we'll fine and flag every player because we want to make the game safe. Listen, that's not how you go about it. For years, we knew exactly what a catch was, and we knew what a tackle was. The two basic elements to the game of football. Over the past decade, we knew exactly what they were. But over the past decade have been the most confusing part of the game of football. A catch, and now what a tackle is, or what a sack is. The NFL thought it would be a good idea to clarify what a catch was a few years ago. And we saw how that turned out. And now we apparently don't know what the difference between a clean sack and a roughing the passer sack is. If you've been under a rock for the past 3 weeks, we've seen this new rule that the NFL implemented this offseason take shape and cause havoc. It's been a game changer, literally, in the worst way possible. Now, going into this season, we were talking about the new helmet rule and how this could possibly, affect the way the game was going to be played this season. We've forgotten about that, honestly. I mean, the refs kind of have controlled it. I knew going into the preseason they were going to throw the flags. That way they can go back, really teach exactly what the difference between a, forceful hit with the helmet and what is not, whatever teaching method that they used, they did it. And it hasn't really affected the game. But this new sack rule, which kind of went under the radar, is now the biggest topic. And Clay Matthews has been kind of the headliner of this new sack rule. And it's not fair. And it makes me mad as a former defensive player myself to see these players get clean sacks and be flagged for something that they humanly can't do. Here's the new sack rule if you don't know exactly what it is. It states, and I quote, this is the exact rule: a rushing defender is prohibited from committing such intimidating, punishing acts as stuffing a passer into the ground or unnecessarily wrestling or driving him down after the passer has thrown the ball. When tackling a passer who is in a defenseless posture, e.g., during or just after throwing a pass, a defensive player must not unnecessarily or violently throw him down and land on top of him with all or most of the defender's weight. Instead, the defensive player must strive to wrap up the passer with the defensive player's arms and not land on the passer. That is the new rule for this sack rule that has been plaguing our league. if you want me to reread that again, just rewind exactly what I said, because I'm not reading that again. What in God's great name did I just read? That absolutely makes no sense. In other words, you can tackle the quarterback. That's fine. But you can't sling him or land on him. So you want me to tackle the quarterback, but you don't want me to land on him. So if I tackle him and I'm going to the ground, I can't land on said quarterback. Yeah. People, I hate to tell you, that makes zero sense. That's not humanly possible for a man who is going full speed towards a target. They can't control their body from fully landing on a person. The rule makes zero sense. And sad part is, I can't even blame the refs. They're doing exactly how they're calling exactly how the NFL is written. They're doing their job. I can't be mad at them. The NFL is to blame. The NFL is going soft. You've heard multiple players say it. And the sad part is, this is why you know the rule is bad. Not only are the defensive players saying that the new NFL sack rule is terrible, but you get the quarterbacks even coming out and saying, I don't understand how that's a flag. Alex Smith, Aaron Rodgers, and Kirk Cousins, all three have said, I don't understand how the sack placed on me was a flag. Of course, naturally, they appreciate it, but they also don't understand what is going on. The NFL is to blame. The NFL is going soft, and it's affecting their ratings. The fans are tired of seeing this, and excuse my language, but they're tired of seeing this bullshit. Now I get they want to protect the players, but you're affecting how the game is being played and viewed. Now, the NFL is also trying to not necessarily protect this brand, but kind of enhance it. The real reason for this new sack rule is because most teams in the NFL have at least good starting quarterback or a superstar quarterback. Okay? Most of them. Not all of them, but most of them. So, this rule is to protect the ratings on Sunday because the fans want to see their teams win. What is the one common denominator when it comes down to teams winning games on Sunday? The quarterback play. That's the key. If the first string quarterback is healthy, a team has a better chance to win than the second string quarterback playing. You're a second string for a reason. If you weren't a second string, you'd be a first stringer because you were better than a second stringer. So the NFL is trying to ensure that the quarterback is healthy throughout the season, so that way fans are watching the game, because fans are going to watch if the starting quarterback is playing, because the starting quarterback gives the team a better chance to win. And I get it and I understand it. And I'm all for it. Trust me. Being a Mariota fan, I don't want to see Blaine Gabbert back there. I want to see Marcus back there. So I get it and I understand it. And I understand player safety. Trust me, I do. Because there's a reason I'm not playing anymore. Because of player safety. I get it. And I'm glad that the NFL is trying to make the game safe. I get that. And I get that they want to protect the players. But you're affecting how the game is being played and viewed. When all of these parents, this is what happened. When all of these parents started saying, we don't want little Johnny getting hurt, so we'll make him play soccer. The NFL wanted to show that they care about player safety to ensure that football will have a future. They want these younger kids, they want the younger generation to be in their sport, okay? So they had to do something. And that's smart. They had to. They had to do something. And I get that. And I understand that. But let me be real. I'm going to be real with you for a minute. Fuck some little Johnny. When you sign up for football, you sign up for the injuries, you sign up for the fun of the sport, and you sign up for the rush it gives you. The NFL is messing this sport up. If they don't watch out, they will no longer be the most watched sport throughout the year, or maybe even worse. Remember, the XFL is coming back. I'm not saying the XFL is going to be over the NFL, but if the NFL doesn't mess up, they will ruin what reputation they have. The sport of football, there is nothing safe about it. You can implement all different types of rules to keep these kids, to keep these players safe. I don't care what you do. The bottom line is this: the basic thing to football is you have 11 players on one side, 11 players on another side, and they are running into each other. This is basically war. This is war without the guns. The offensive team is trying to score on the defensive team. The defensive team is doing everything in their power to stop the offensive team from moving the ball into their end zone. This is war. There's nothing safe about it. There's nothing safe about football. So for all the parents out there wanting football to just be completely safe, sign them up for flag football. And even then, it's not safe. Trust me, I play it now. Since I can't play the real sport no more, I play flag football. And it's still not safe. No sport is safe. Baseball's not safe. Basketball's not safe. Soccer's not safe. And you see how these soccer players be flopping around out there? Soccer's not safe. There is no sport that is safe. If you don't want your child to get hurt, have them read a book. Join band. Do something else other than sports, because there is no sport. I can go across every different type of sport that is known to man. There's no such thing as a safe sport. All sports have some sort of physical challenge where you might get hurt. Every sport. Football is one of the worst. You will get hurt. That's what you sign up for. But you don't sign up to think that you're going to get hurt. You sign up because you want to have fun. You want to maybe build some sort of chemistry with people that you might, play around with. They might say they want to play football. Look, I'm getting way, out of topic here. But bottom line is this. You can't create a safe environment for football. You can only go so far. And I think the NFL has crossed that line. They're messing up the sport. And again, if they don't watch out, they will no longer be the most watched sport throughout the year. Maybe even worse. Stop ruining football. Stop complicating the sport. There has to be a common ground where safety and thrill is 50-50. I'll say that again. There has to be a common ground where safety and thrill is 50-50. So I asked the question, what do y'all think? Should the NFL stop complicating and implementing new rules to the game? Or are you fine with what the NFL has done or is doing? Those are my two questions. Again, should the NFL stop complicating and implementing new rules to the game? Or are you fine with what the NFL has done? So those are my two questions. And you already know what to do. Hit me up on Twitter at jcottonsports52. Go ahead, follow me on Twitter, slide in my DMs, at me. I don't care what you want to do. You can hit up YMAS Network on Twitter as well. Again, go ahead, subscribe to the podcast on SoundCloud, on YouTube, and on iTunes, okay? Let's debate. Let's talk about this. What do you think the NFL should do? Should they continue complicating the sport of football, or are you fine with what they're doing? Go ahead, hit me up. So, that's the end of the show. You've been listening to YMAS, that's You Mad About Sports podcast, the maddest show in the 615. I'm your maddest host to ever host a sports podcast. Your boy James C. I'm out of here. Holla at your boy.